we will start in a standing position tonight. So just if you've got your bed pillows, just kind of put them off just a little ways so that they're just so you have a little space. And then start by stepping your feet maybe hip or shoulder distance apart. And I'm not seeing my green lit up. So I just want to make sure. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, cool. All right. So with your feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, your preference, just whatever feels better. Start with like that nice little rock the baby sway. So bend one knee and then the other. If it feels available to do so, you might choose to close your eyes down or just soften your gaze, stare at a point at the floor. So you don't need to worry too much about what your body looks like when you're doing this, but how does it feel? Does it feel soothing like it would feel soothing when you hold a baby and rock? Is there anything that you need to do to readjust so that your knees feel okay, ankles feel okay, whatever the case may be? And then once you've got yourself into a nice little rock that feels good to you, find a gentle rhythm that works best for your body. Give everything a little time to slow down. Take one or two more little sways side to side, just depending on the rhythm that you were going with. And then we're going to take it into some light shirt sleeve twists. You can still keep that little bit of a sway going if it felt really good. And then add the arm swings as well. So just a light little tap to the hips. And then if it feels better to add that little pivot, you might choose to let your heel pick up and move with you if that feels like a better maneuver for your spine and for your knees. So find the variation that works good for you and feels nice and comfortable. Nice. Take one or two more little swings side to side. And as you come back to center, just let everything be sort of still, soft and heavy. So soften the knees, soften the hips, soften your arms. Take an inhale, gently lift your chin upward towards the sky and let your eyes look as well. And then as you exhale, look down, chin down, and then just hang here for a second with your chin kind of soft and heavy towards your chest, shoulders a little soft and heavy, knees and hips a little soft and heavy. Take a nice deep breath in and just kind of tune in. Feel the back of your neck, feel the back of your shoulders. And then lift your head back up to a neutral position. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Eyes closed or just a soft gaze. That's totally up to you. Just take a moment here in this standing position to tune in and notice your breath. Take a generous inhale, fill your lungs up. And a nice slow exhale. Take about 2 more cycles of breath here. Nice. And then before we move away from this place of stillness, just take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, gently lift your head up just to that neutral position, open your eyes, release your hands, and we're going to start to take it into a light little shake. So with your arms kind of heavy at your sides, just start to give them a good gentle shake. And most of that shake might be down into your hands and your wrists. So notice that vibration. And then just take it into your left arm, big giant shake, swing it out just a little bit further, make a little space for yourself, and then give that arm a good gentle shake. Keep on shaking, float the hand down, take it over to the other side, and then let the left hand come to stillness. Right hand's going to get a little bit more vigorous. And then keep on shaking as you lower it down and bring it back into both arms. Just nice and gentle, shaking the arms. And then you're going to take that shake and you're going to float the arms up just to shoulder height, and then take that shake and float the arms back down towards the hips. And then take that shake, float it up. Take that shake and float it down. Do that one more time. Take that shake, float it up. Take that shake, float it down, keep the arms shaking, but maybe step your feet in so that you can get a little shake coming into your legs as well. So arms are going to shake a little bit, heels are going to bop a little bit, and just let that nice little gentle vibration come into your body. So heels are hopping just a little bit, and then just kind of tune in and notice. You might notice your skin moving and jiggling a little bit. You might notice your fatty tissue moving and jiggling just a little bit, and let everything just kind of wiggle and jiggle. Let everything kind of find its way. And then maybe for a moment, just notice the sounds that your vibration is making. Notice the sounds in the room that you're working in. And then if you can tune in nice and easy and quiet, maybe you even notice the sound of vibration in your breath. Nice. One more nice little bounce, and then hands can come to stillness. Shift your weight over onto one foot, pick one leg up, and just give it a good vigorous shake. Notice where your balance is at. And then when you feel ready, set that foot down, switch over to the other side, pick your other leg up, give it a good vigorous shake. Nice. And then set that foot down, take a second just to tune in, notice how everything feels. And then we're going to come down into an extended child's pose. So if you have your bed pillows and you would like to use them, you're going to place your bed pillows in a nice little stack and then start to find your way down onto the ground. I like big toes together, knees nice and wide, but you might try to find a variation of the body that works best for you. But when you feel ready, come down, big toes together, knees out, or big toes together, knees together. That's up to you. But then if it feels nice to do so, we're just gonna kind of flop over that stack of pillows and then just give everything a second. Let your butt and your hips find a nice place to be. You might choose to crisscross your arms. You might choose to turn your head to one side. Any little variation here. We're gonna stay here for about 5 cycles of breath on one side of the head turn, 5 cycles of breath with the head turned the other way. So if your head is turned, just think of about that position. Take a second to settle into it. And then just tune in and notice your breath here. Nice, big, giant inhalation. Exhale and think about getting just a little heavier onto your stack of pillows. Take one more breath with your head turned in this direction. And then if you feel like doing so, turn your head the other way. Take a second, settle into that shape, and then come back to your breath. One more breath with your head turned in this direction. And then when you feel ready, gently lift your head, rotate to center. We're just going to lift up and off and away from our stack of pillows. Move your stack of pillows off to the side just a little bit, and then start to find your way up into a tabletop position. Walk your knees in a little bit closer. So maybe knees are about hip width distance apart, and then move into cat and cow breath. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. And then take a few more cycles of breath here and just move with your breath's rhythm. Notice your breath. And then just notice if you want to go fast or slow, just get a sense of where your energy level is at tonight. Beautiful. Take 1 or 2 more cycles of breath, just depending on how fast or slow you're going. And then we're going to scrape the peanut butter jar. So we're going to take our ribs and draw them in circles. So the ribs are going to drop down, pull them over to one side, and then scrape the peanut butter jar around your back, circle around. And then you're going to smooth that out. So you're going to take your rib cage and your torso and just move in a nice fluid motion. Take one more circle around in this direction, and then when you're ready, go the other way. Beautiful. Take one more circle around in this direction. And then when you're ready, we're going to take it right into heart melting pose or puppy pose. So keeping your hips fairly in line with your knees, let your chest and your forehead drop down. And then just for tonight, instead of thinking this is your puppy pose, think of this as your heart melting pose. Let your heart melt down. Soften your hands a little bit, soften your forehead. Two more cycles of breath here. When you feel ready, slowly start to bring it back up to your tabletop position. We're going to curl both sets of toes under, draw your butt back towards your heels or just back as far as feels good. So if butt all the way back towards the heels, this feels like just a really big wish. Just pull your butt back in that slightest way. And then once you feel sensation in your toes and the bottoms of the feet, you might choose to stop wherever feels the most comfortable to you. So come to the point that you like the best and then soften into it a little bit. Notice if you hold a lot of tension or if you try to grip or protect your feet if you notice that you grip into your feet to keep them protected, bring your forward just a little bit so you can relax into the shape. But if you've got yourself to the point that feels good, think about softening your toes. If it helps you to soften your toes, soften your fingers as well. And then in this position here, if it feels beneficial, you're just going to gently nod your head up and down and think about the idea that there's a line of connective tissue that runs from the crown of your head all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. So as you think about that line of connection from the crown of your head down to your feet, as you gently move your head up and down, you might not feel it, but see if you can get a sense of that gentle movement coming all the way through the back line of your body. Take one more gentle nod of your head up and down. And then head comes to stillness, lift yourself up, release your toes, and then we're going to swing the legs out to one side so we can find our way into an easy seat or Sukhasana. So you come around into the seat that works best for you. I like Sukhasana because it feels comfortable to my knees and my hips, but you might find a better seat that works for you that's a little bit more comfortable. So any variation that works good and lets you sit up nice and tall. And then once you've found your way there, we're just going to pull it into the shoulders. So inhale and let your shoulders drift up to your ears. Exhale and let your shoulders melt down. And that's all you got to do. So now you know what you're doing. If it feels good to do it, close your eyes down. Inhale, let your shoulders lift. Exhale and let your shoulders melt down. Inhale, shoulders lift just as high as feels right to you. Exhale and soften down. Take about 2 or 3 more breaths here. The next time your shoulders melt down, let them stay down and then take your left hand, reach across and just hold on to the right shoulder. So get a little across the top of the shoulder, handhold, and then let your elbow get nice and heavy. And then once you've got that handhold and it feels good and you can kind of relax the weight of your elbow into your chest, then tuck your chin down towards your chest. Notice the muscles in the back of the neck. Notice the space between your shoulder blades. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. When you feel ready, lift your head to a neutral position, release that arm and switch to the other side. So your right hand's going to reach across, catch the shoulder, let the elbow get heavy. And then once you've got that comfortable position, tuck your chin down towards your chest. Notice the back of your neck, notice the space between your shoulder blades, and notice how just by switching arms that you might have felt just a slight variation in sensation in the back of your body. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath. And then we're going to keep the right arm across in that shape, but now we're going to take the other arm and bring it across. So that might mean you rearrange your hands just a little bit. So you're going to give ourselves a little bit of a hug, but we want a little bit of freedom to move the elbows. So as you inhale, you're going to lift the elbows up, lift your chest, lift your chin. And then as you exhale, you're going to think shoulders down, elbows down, pull the abdominal muscles in, round your back body, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and round down. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, round down. Do that one more time here. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, round down. Find your way up to that neutral position, and then we're just going to switch the cross in the arm. So the other arm is going to come on top. Once you've got your handhold arranged, move right back into that rhythm of breath. Inhale, lift the elbows, lift your chin. Exhale, elbows lower down, shoulders down, tuck chin into your chest. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, round down. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round down. Come back up to your neutral position, release your arms. And now we're going to bring the hands together. So keep a loose position with the fingers to start. Just start by rubbing the fingers together in a soft kind of way. So just tune in and notice the texture of the skin on your palms, the warmth or coolness of your hands. And then we're going to let the fingers separate a little bit and let the hands kind of crisscross. And so we're going to sort of also get a little sensation into the space between the fingers, but we want a loose hold so that we can kind of glide in and out. So once you've got that little crisscross of the fingers, glide your hands. Notice you might be picking up a little heat in your arms and your shoulders. So tune in and notice that. One more little swish of those hands, and then we're just going to switch the cross of our fingers. So if your fingers were crossed one way, switch and then come right back to that glide of the hands. Awesome. One more little glide of the hands, and then we're going to release that and then take your piano fingers and lightly tap into the palm of one hand, just moving up and down towards the heel of the hand and then up towards the fingers. One more little light tap up and down and then switch right over to the other side. Use your piano fingers and gently tap towards the heel of the hand and then up towards the fingers. Awesome. One more light tap up and down and then take those piano fingers and tap up and down the chest. So think sternum to collarbones. Nice. And then take that tapping and bring it out. So think go to the center of the chest, then out to the edges of the collarbones. One more tap in and out, and then we're going to swim the hands behind the back. So nice tall fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chest, but think of this as a gentle lifting upward sensation. So as you lightly lift your chest and lift your gaze, let your eyeballs look upward and then find just that little extra bit of reach that comes straight from your eyes. So glancing upward, a lift in the chin, a lift in the chest, an opening through the collarbones, and an opening through your heart space. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. When you're ready, release that gentle back bend. Left hand's going to reach out to the side. Right hand's going to reach up. Take a gentle side bend. So think super mindful and gentle, just to the point where you feel a little opening through the side of the ribs. And then once you feel like you're there, that top hand is just going to float down. Fingertips are going to find the shoulder. And now we're going to think lift the elbow. So just reach your elbow up towards the ceiling and then lower your elbow slightly. Lift your elbow up towards the ceiling. Lower it slightly. One more just like that. Lift the elbow towards the ceiling. Lower it, release your hand and take it to the other side. So right hand touches down, left hand reaches up just to the point where you feel a little bit of sensation or opening through the side of the ribs. And then once you're there, float that hand down, fingertips to the shoulder, lift your elbow upward towards the ceiling, Lower your elbow down just a little bit. Lift your elbow up. Lower your elbow down. Do that one more time. Lift your elbow up. Lower it down and release right into a seated twist. Right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand behind you. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. When you feel ready, release, unwind, and take it right over to the other side. Catch your knee. Inhale and get nice and tall. Awesome. When you feel ready, unwind. And now we're going to send the legs out in front of us. Nice giant bend in the knees. Just take a couple little swishes of the knees side to side just to kind of loosen up, especially if you had that bent knee position. You might just want to kind of bring a little blood flow back down to your toes. And then we're going to swing it around so that the legs are out in front of us. And we're going to take our little stack of pillows and place them right up underneath our knees. So just depending on how big your stack of pillows is, it's just going to create whatever amount of bend in your knees. And then you might choose to make a little space. So step your feet just as wide as feels good. And then once you got your pillows under your knees and your legs in a nice wide position, just fold yourself over and let the whole upper body get soft and round. Take one more breath. And then slowly walk yourself back up. We're going to try to keep the pillows underneath our knees, but we're going to lower ourselves down to the ground. So that might mean just kind of scooching your butt forward, gently roll your way down to the ground. And then once you're there, just kind of pull those knees in a little bit so you feel like the pillows are underneath your legs, but you could let your legs relax. So see if you can find that situation where the pillows are underneath you, but everything else feels like it's in a pretty good place. And then place your feet so that they're a little bit on the ground and then see how that feels. And then move into a pelvic tilt. Exhale and press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale, release. Do that one more time. Exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release, find the natural curve of your back, and then we're going to pull the right knee in towards the chest. So left leg is just going to get comfortable on those pillows, whatever that means to you. Draw your right knee in circles, take it in one direction. Awesome. And then we're going to just come right into our external rotation. So just kind of get in mind which direction you drew that knee circle in so that when we go to the other side, you're going to kind of keep it even that way. So now pull your heel in so we get a little internal external rotation. So we're just going to gently rotate the leg. One more little rotation of that leg. And then we're going to extend the right foot upward towards the ceiling, but with like a nice looseness to that leg so that we can just get a little handhold on that thigh muscle. And we're just going to grab the thigh muscle and rotate it a little bit. So twist and turn up towards the knee, twist and turn down towards the hip crease. Take one more good twist and turn of that leg, and then release your handhold to give that leg a good gentle shake. And then when you feel ready, you're going to float that foot down to the ground and we're going to take it to the other side. So left knee is going to draw up towards your chest, get your handhold, and then think about the direction that you took the other knee. Since we're just staying in one direction, you might choose to go with a little bit of symmetry here, but you choose the variation that works good for you. If it felt good to maybe take an opposite turn, then you do what feels best. Nice. One more circle around, and then we're going to grab hold of that heel and just swing that leg in and out in a way that works best for you. When you feel ready, extend the foot upward towards the ceiling, but keep a softness to the leg, a nice generous bend in that knee. And then as loose as you can get the muscle tissue in your thigh to be, soften it up and then twist and turn that muscle on the bone. So we want to get a little bit of rotation in the skin, the connective tissue, and the muscle, working down towards the hip crease and up towards the knee. Nice. One more little twist and turn of that leg. And then when you're ready, release your handhold, Give that leg a good gentle shake. Awesome. And then when you feel ready, slowly float that foot down to the ground. And then we're going to see about taking it into a supported bridge, but using our pillows as that support system. So if it feels good, you're going to lift your butt up, maybe slide one pillow under your butt, maybe two. That'll just depend on the height that you want to go to. So find a good height that works good for you. Get those pillows stacked up underneath your hips, and then release your hips down and see how that feels. If it's too high, readjust. If it's not high enough, readjust. Take the time to find that placement that works good for you. But we do want the pillows underneath those broad hip bones. So we want them under the bones of the pelvis, not stuck up in the low back, because the low back just doesn't have a lot of bony structure to help support. So get the pillows underneath you so everything feels good. And then you can relax your hips, soften your knees. Let your arms land wherever is the most comfortable. If you're feeling like a little connection feels good, maybe hands on the belly, maybe hands on the ribs, or maybe hands on the heart. And then just give everything a moment here. Take one more breath here. Now, if you feel like it would be beneficial just to create a little bit of length through the front of the hips before you find your way to your Shavasana, you might choose to step your feet nice and long with a little bit of a flex in the feet, heels down on the ground, and then maybe extend your arms up and overhead. And we're just going to create that bit of length through that whole front of the body. So see if that feels good. And then as you're here taking this last little bit of stretchiness, notice how your body feels and then ask yourself where would be your best Shavasana. Did that supported bridge feel good? You can always come back to that. You might choose to just slide your legs back in and then let your arms find a comfortable place to be. If it feels like letting your hips come down might be more beneficial, maybe you scooch the stack of pillows out from underneath your hips and then tuck them underneath your knees so you get a little bit of a bent knee position for your Shavasana or any other variation. And then the one that is a suggestive position might be to just roll over onto one side, and then you'll take your pillows, just think like a nice long huggy pillow. So side lying position, one knee is going to be propped up on one pillow, and then one pillow is going to get that little hug sensation. So if that feels like something that might be soothing, perhaps a side lying position might be the way to go. Take your time as you find your way into the version of Shavasana that's going to work best for you. And then once you find your way there, give everything a second to settle in. Right away, as you start to settle in, you might notice the sounds around you. You might notice the subtle sounds that your own body makes, your clothes, the mat that you're on, the rustling of your hair. So all those little subtle sounds, take a moment to just see if you can hear. And then maybe reach out to the sounds just beyond you, the sounds in the room that you're working in. And then maybe reach out just beyond that and notice the sounds in the rooms beyond you or the walls outside of you. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like, or as long as your time allows. But if you feel called to do so, gently start to reawaken. If you have a pillow under your head, maybe take a second to just remove that pillow out from underneath your head. And then maybe you rock your head a little side to side. Invite some soothing movements into the fingers and the toes. A little gentle massage to the back of the head and some soothing movement into your neck. And then maybe invite some bigger movements in. Move your wrists, move your ankles, move your knees, move your hips. Any little bit of movement here that feels good. And then if it feels really great to do so, take it into a big good morning stretch. Stretch your arms up and overhead, reach your legs nice and long, take a nice big breath back into your body. And then in your own way and at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. That might mean rock and rolling up or coming to one side, anything that gets you there. And then as you come up to your seat, you might choose to sit on your pillows, which might provide a nice little cushion and a nice little seat for you. So find a comfortable seat that works good. But we're going to come back to our little hug. So just wrap your arms around in any way that works good for you, whichever hand on top, that's totally up to you. But once you've got your little hug, we're going to give it a nice little squeeze. So squeeze in at the shoulders, maybe even scrunch up your face just a little bit and then soften. Squeeze in just a little bit, maybe even scrunch up your face and then soften. And do that one more time. Squeeze in just a little bit, maybe scrunch up your face. Soften and then relax your hands so that they're stacked on top of the heart and bow your head to your heart. Just for a moment here, just notice the movement of breath underneath your hands. Take one more breath. And then we're going to take our prayer hands together. Thumbs are going to come right to that space between our eyes that we may have peace in our thoughts. Thumbs to the lips that you may find peace in your words. Thumbs to your heart that you might find peace in your heart tonight. When you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday. You guys are amazing.